So, when you want to say the prayer?
She don't care.
You don't care? You want to say the prayer, Miss Hampton? Okay. All right, John, let me know when you're ready. We're gonna get to January 28, 2025 city council meeting called to order. Remind everybody to silence their cell phones. Ms. Hampton's gonna lead us in our opening prayer, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
We'll bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to meet here together this evening to do the business of the city. Father God, we're asking that you will guide us, lead us, direct and protect us. Lord, we're asking that you will heal our nation. Asking that you will direct this meeting so that it is held in a safe and orderly fashion. Asking you, Heavenly Father, to guide our thoughts, to help us to make the best decisions that come before us today concerning the city of Perry and the residents within. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A roll call, please, ma'am.
Bryan.
Here.
Councilmember Hampton.
Here.
Councilmember Woodcock. Vice Mayor Landry.
Here.
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Item number 3, approval of items on the consent agenda. Approval to read by title only, ordinance number 1047. And approval to read by title only, resolution 2025-04. Have a motion?
Motion.
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodcock.
Approve of that.
Approval of,
For the consent agenda.
Oh, Senator.
Yes. Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Receiving a request from the general public. Does anybody from the general public want to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Hearing no one. Order number 5, bids. Do we have any bids at this time? No bids, okay. Move on to general business, agenda item 6A, council to discuss selling parcel number 03175-000 to Vencedor Rentals LLC to determine purchase price and council to take any action deemed necessary. Hope I pronounced that name correctly. Yeah. If you'd like to speak on this, would just come forward and just give us your name and address, please, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Martin Moreno Valencia, on Casa Grande, and I think the reason I'm here is because, we're gonna talk about those parcels, right? I did look at they're all in a flood zone. Trying to see, I think I have a price on the, parcels with like, what is was 15,000, I think, was that price on,
15.
right? It was that for both, or it was not, that was for one, right, for the last one?
Originally, I thought we were just trying to purchase this one. I didn't know you wanted this one, Steve.
Right. But we looked and it was there already, so I was just trying to say, go ahead and get it for parking in the future. Ideal, what I want to do is, trying to see if I can add, like a playground and more parking to the building, like, something for the kids when, or parents hearing. Kids can go safely, have fun playing or whatever, at the restaurant. Now, the price, is negotiable, or that is the price I have to agree to?
What was the price on the second part?
Say that again?
What was the price on the second piece? Did you check that out?
Sean had it at 2,500.
2,500.
500,
25.
25.
And how much on the other, the big parcel?
15,000. But, like, that's, on my eyes, it's all in flood. I don't think for anybody to wanna buy it. You know, I don't know what somebody can do with a piece of property. And, I was hoping I can get it for a better price. And in the beginning, when I was looking, somehow the impression was a lot lower than that. Now, I'm just trying to see if we can, if it can be a better price or what we can do, to purchase. And to be honest, I don't know if I need to refer to it.
What'd you have in mind?
What do you have, and do I need to make an offer because
I'd like to know
I
what
wanna be fair too, I wanna hear, anybody, okay, I think this can be fair for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't wanna like make an offer, like I wanna hear from anybody that knows more about the property and give me a good offer. Or do I have to make an offer?
What did you have in
I
mind?
was thinking something around 10,000.
10?
Yes, it's for a large property, yeah. And I think, for the little piece, I think I'm okay with $2,500.
The problem is Aaron may give 11.
Okay. Why?
That's a problem,
Yes.
doing that.
That's the reason for sending out the letter to the adjacent landowners. They had an opportunity to be here too. He's the only
Yeah.
one that showed interest in it.
But
Right.
somebody else may want it, whoever may want it.
You need
You
to
never
get
know.
the attorney's opinion.
That's my problem. I don't wanna sell it for something less,
Yeah.
we get in trouble.
Yeah, whose opinion?
That's right.
Who?
The attorney,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
because we don't
nice.
wanna get ourselves in a bond, we selling it to him for a cheaper price and we get in trouble for that. Cause we
Maybe
gotta
get-
understand, this is not our property, it's constituents' property.
Correct.
But John check with Sean. You don't back up.
No, he wants to, for 10. That wasn't what Shauna said.
17.5 is what that comes up to.
Yeah.
For both pieces, you're right.
For both pieces.
What we really want is an attorney's opinion, in the method we're doing it.
Didn't we do a policy for doing this?
Yeah, very, very, that's why
Yeah.
I never really liked it. When we get to it.
I mean, do we go by property appraiser's
Uh-huh.
price? Do we go by
That's what
an
we
actual
do.
appraiser's price for marketing or? A lot of times those two prices aren't the same.
I think it just said if you'll sell it at a minimum of the appraised value.
Mm-hmm.
The property appraiser's value.
No.
I think that was our
Appraisal,
property.
not that property appraiser, it's generally, property appraiser is generally gonna be less,
Low.
generally,
Generally speaking, yes.
yeah.
So he needs to get that done.
Should be sold to said private person or entity at no less than the value assessed by the officer of the property appraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we agreed on.
No less than.
Private person or entity to be responsible for payment of all costs associated with said conveyance, including but not limited to cost of document preparation, surveys, and title insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what it is, I'm interested to buy it. I just need to go and do, can I go talk to my bank or because, I would like to use my bank instead of pay cash right away. What's the process on that?
Yeah, what we do on the other, there's been a couple of pieces we sold recently. What did we do on those?
They took care of all the survey and
I'm talking about the price.
I wasn't here last time we sold one. I think it was the Wilsons.
There was the Wilsons and there was, like cribs.
Mm-hmm. And they just got
Maybe.
everything taken care of, and then they just bought the city the check. Mhm.
Right, but I mean, where did the price get determined? Was it an appraisal? Was it the appraisal from the property appraiser?
Well, that's what the policy
One-
says.
That's what I was thinking too, and that's our precedent.
We do need to have the attorney review it to make sure there's not an attorney general opinion out there that deals with this. Make sure we're not gonna be like, Councilmember Woodfall said, we're not gonna be liable for something like that.
And there is no city utilities or anything on this that we're gonna need to get to.
Those are the guys there.
The only utility on the waterfront is on the Highway 19 frontage of that. I know there's a fire hydrant that sits on that area, but that's also gonna be at the property line, so that shouldn't be an issue.
I have a question. I know the creek is lying there. Is there any water in the creek? Does anyone fish out of that creek?
Good
We
question.
want to make sure that they have enough property to do what they need to do as well.
They looks like, according to that, it all looks like it's landlocked anyway. You can't really get in there. Maybe right there. That's gonna be about the only place.
Over the years, we have seen people fish in that area. We also had a drowning there.
But they're not
What-
prevented from fishing there.
What would be the pleasure of the council on this item?
And for the attorney.
I think we have to-
Gov deal or something like that, where we auction off other property, that take care of it all for us.
Say it again.
Put it up on gov deals, like an auction like we do with vehicles and things like that. Can't we do land?
Oh, yeah, I see a lot of land on gov
But
deals.
that's not our policy.
Is that, I'm gonna say, is that in our policy?
Talked about this policy 7 or 8 times now, we've never come to a conclusion on what to do,
But you just read what we should do.
but it's still a lot of. It says we can't sell it for anything less than the appraised value, so that's still a lot of unknown in there. You can sell it for $1 million. Somebody's willing to buy it.
Well, yeah, we
He said-
could. I mean, but why can't we sell it for the property appraiser's price without an attorney opinion, if that's what our policy
I don't have a
says?
problem with that. I just wasn't going, I wasn't agreeing with taking it for 10,000. That was where my problem was coming in. We selling it for less.
Right.
That's what I had. But other than that, I'm fine with
Okay.
whatever property.
I just wondered what his opinion was for the value of it, but property appraiser says it's more. So probably because it's on
So if
19.
it's for the price value, we're okay then.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
17,500.
17.5.
That's for both pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
15 plus
Well,
250,
if we
25.
500.
The price will be 15, 17, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the buyer pays all costs.
No, 17.5, 17,500,
You
yeah.
got numbers better than you.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
bad about that too. Bill, is that,
You want to care to make a motion?
okay.
I mean, we got a ordinance, got.
Tell us what-
I move
Down
we-
the Ordinance, it'll take 2 meetings to get approved.
Okay,
But you'll be responsible for the survey and all the documentation,
right.
and we'll get those together.
Okay.
That'll be 17, just so you understand, 17,500 to the city of Perry. All costs is gonna fall on you past that.
Yeah,
That's right. My only question.
No, I'm just being clear.
Right.
Okay.
My only question is, how do we handle the closing? How long I had to go? Because I was coming, when we initially we look at different prices. And I had to go to talk to my bank, and it's a process. So you guys okay with that, right? We don't have to go and do it tomorrow, right?
Oh, no.
So get in the process and we don't have like, we're like closing day or something, maybe 40 to 60 days or something like that.
Just for everything pulled.
A month.
Yeah.
They gotta have it 2 meetings.
Right.
That'd be a month from now.
Right, okay, that give me time to
Well,
look at the financial. part.
Yeah, 2 weeks, there'll be a reading. 2 weeks after that, it'll be another, or, yeah, give or take, like I already said, about a month, give or take, then you can start the closing process. In the meantime, you can go ahead and start doing your other.
Right,
Well, I don't know, you might ought to wait till the ordinance is done before you start spending money,
You know, if you want your cost tied into it, something go wrong,
right?
okay,
could be a big meeting, everybody coming here and they go against the ordinance.
right,
You already have money invested in it.
right, okay, so.
All right, let's,
I guess I'll wait for somebody to let me know, or,
Would be,
Yes.
February the 25th would be when we would have our second meeting on it.
okay, so I have to come to second meeting and then we
Sure.
decide what we'll go from there.
you can come to the next meeting as well. I mean, it'll be the first reading, then 25th will be the second reading.
Okay. Yeah,
Just-
Already fine with that, so.
All right,
We good then?
Yeah,
Thank
So-
you.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
thanks.
Y'all have a good day. I gotta go. What's-
Okay, Adam.
Thank you, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6B, council to discuss CDBG engineering ranking and council to take any action deemed necessary.
Well, I left it. Talking with the grant admin and Ms. Dennis. They both recommended that y'all do the ranking, or whatever group we take within the city will be by, based on what was said in the last meeting. I will let you know that their road guy that we've been working with, JJ, and Amir, as of yesterday, no longer with Mott McDonald. And that was 2 of our 3 main contacts with Mott McDonald.
Hmm.
So it probably is a good idea to re-rank based on new information.
We were,
So was that the two that was here talking to us?
Amir was here.
Here, yeah.
The new road guy was with him. I never met him before till that day.
Sorry, Mr. Browns, I think I interrupted you.
So we move on to the next one. What's
We need
what's
to-
the name? What's,
we, they were ranked. A recommendation was made. Majority declined that recommendation. There's only one other group. There's only 2 of them. If there was more, but there's only 2, so in a way, you're inferring that we don't like this, but we'll pick this. I'll make that motion if you move along.
Did we take the alternate?
what was the name?
It was North
What was the name?
Florida.
Professional services.
Okay. I remember North Florida, but I don't remember the rest of it.
A second.
The reason we need to re-rank it is because CDBG is gonna come back and ask questions, why did you not go with the #1 ranked firm? So I'd rather y'all re-rank it based on new information that some of their employees have left them. And then we'll have #1 ranking for the CDBG grant.
Can we do that now?
Yes, ma'am, we got a motion and a second. To do, to get, no, this is to go to North Florida.
You're gonna do some,
We still have
That's-
to rank.
yeah, might have some numbers on the sheet. Turning what the grant.
From the last meeting, it seemed that because
But-
there was an objection or more information based on Mr. Burns' previous knowledge that wasn't part of the application, that there may have been questions about the other applicant, but is that the applicant that no longer can continue?
It can continue this. We'll be working with people we've never worked with before. It's not the same.
Okay. So the idea that there was information, but it wasn't part of the review process, that myself and the other contact thought it was best to then give that process over for you all to review, and if you all feel comfortable that you review and are ready to rank, I believe we still need to rank. Because all of this is based on information that I understand was not given to the council to review. And so it'd still be the idea of making a decision not based on qualifications, because you could decide not to go with either one of them and wanted to resubmit. So
How much time do we have, John?
You know, a little bit of time. We need to get moving forward.
And did y'all do a re-ranking?
they could do a re-ranking. They've already done one. It was based on comments that I believe regarding maybe a certain consultant or a certain candidate, we need to hire outside people. That wasn't a part of the application or information, but just the idea that there was something that you all did not agree, not so much that there was a decision made on the ranking as much as like this other information that wasn't a part of the application process.
But in the meantime, things have changed,
Right, other things have changed, so
right?
I would even suggest that meeting would be another reason. And it doesn't have to take a long time. You all can review it and rank.
Y'all can rank them independently and email it back to me later. I'll bring y'all's together at the next meeting. You'll do it that way.
Well, what are we gonna rank if you just got one?
Yeah, you still have to.
You still have two.
Okay,
He was saying that the other one that was not chosen, right, has changed their people.
I understand.
No. One that was chosen. Agency.
I know somebody changed people. I'm just saying it's the one. that was not.
You know, y'all can either rank it right here in this meeting or email me your rankings and I'll compile them together and
They have all the applications.
Can we do it now?
y'all can do it now.
What do you all think?
We
Well,
still need to rank.
for time's sake, we should go ahead and do it.
Do you have any ranking sheets? I'm gonna guess no. Cause I wouldn't have had them either.
They're pretty simple, right?
60 points for engineer experience, 25 points for capacity to perform the requested services, and 15 points for ability to perform the requested services.
Maybe that's the sheet that you can put up there. So maybe it's a-
Yeah, I can get to it here. Okay.
Do you have a PDF of their proposals?
Yeah.
Tell you what, why don't you email that and a ranking sheet to us?
All right.
Email their proposals, email the ranking sheet, and we can get it back to you in a couple of days. Should be able to.
That'll work.
And we'll just make a decision at the next meeting. We have enough time for that? Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll table item 6, Charlie, and come back to it later. Agenda item 6D. Council to discuss CDBG grant administration contract and the council to take any action deemed necessary. Oh, did I? Sure did. Agenda item 6C, council to discuss CDBG environmental review exemption request and council will take any action deemed necessary. Yes, they all four look alike.
I think this just helps us not have to do the full environmental review. To get the streets repaved. We can get started real fast.
Time we have to do less, that helps the process quite a bit.
If they approve it.
True. We have a motion.
Motion.
Okay.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Okay, we'll go back to agenda item 6D. Council to discuss CDBG grant administration contract and council will take any action deemed necessary.
This is for signature or?
the contractor, and easily would rank the highest on the grant admin.
Motion, fine, fine.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6E, council to discuss CDBG transmittal letter to Florida Commerce. And council will take any action deemed necessary.
The letter with several attachments that we gotta get to Florida Commerce to show that we're in the work to doing this. Showing that we put the RFP out. Got the two of them, the minutes that the meeting, this was done in the meeting, all that kind of stuff. And then the proposal and contract with Danny Easton.
motion to accept.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Okay. Agenda item 6F, council to discuss West Fraser options and council will take any action deemed necessary. We're gonna assume this had to do with the proposal that was given to us last meeting.
Yes, I knew it kind of awkward, y'all sitting there talking right in front of him. He couldn't bring it back when he was standing there. But I talked to Shauna. The tangible personal property will stay with West Fraser. But that's all equipment that can, that's like your mobile equipment, things, furniture, desk, all the stuff that can be removed. So
what was the dollar amount on that?
for the city, it was 131,000,
171,
131,
131,
but that'll stay with West Fraser.
right,
He'll be on the hook for property taxes, which will be 22,000. And then, you know, he's gonna demolish some of that stuff, so some of that real property will come off the property taxes. I think he was worried about this big number, but that's not gonna be all him, if any of it.
69
No,
or
131.
139.
Isn't it, okay, either, if I understand correctly, the West Fraser's gonna move it out, or he's gonna take it down and move it out. Either way, it's gonna
you gonna
It's going,
deplete
it's
the,
going, it's gonna go away, I'm assuming, right? Is that right?
the building or the personal property? Or
I believe
both?
the personal property, I believe, that's the personal property, you're talking about the cranes, the salt, the machinery.
Yeah, that was my impression, that he wasn't gonna get much for it, he said, but he was,
But as long as it's there, it's taxable.
yes.
True.
That's right.
Problem I see in my mind is who's next?
Mhm.
And how do you tell big business, we're gonna write you a check for $150,000, that's how you'd have to do it. But I got this small business, you gotta pay.
Well, if it was me, I would not give it to anybody, because if it's lucrative enough to them to come and wanna buy it and go forward with it, why do they need our help? I mean, that's just the way I think.
I think it would probably be attached to employment. If he knew that somebody was moving there.
He doesn't know
That's,
anything.
that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't know anything about all of that.
Difference.
But you're right, though, that's what I understand, the personal properties, one way or another, not gonna be there.
Right,
At some, I don't know when,
So
but
then-
at some point.
Well, that all, tangible personal property, that's all equipment that's probably in West Fraser's name. That's like your,
pretty sure.
your full list and all that kind of stuff. They're already starting to get that stuff out of there.
Right.
That's not gonna be his tangible personal property. He is gonna own the real property.
True.
which is, what's the dollar amount on
The
that?
city is 22,000.
22,000.
He's gonna be tearing some of that stuff down too. That's your buildings and whatnot. But that'll be assessed lower next time around.
So we really don't know what. If we say we're going, I'm just hypothetically speaking. Give him $20,000 tax abatement. He tears down enough to. Go past $20,000 and his tax bill could be zero.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking.
I really think he was worried about this big number down here, 427 in tangible personal property, but that's not gonna be his.
And a lot of that isn't ours either. Cities, I mean,
Well, only 131 out of that.
Mm,
we're about 25% of it. They probably just need to wait
I'm
and see.
not prepared to write any checks or anything.
I need to see how this thing's
That's what
gonna,
it would be,
yeah, I need to see how this thing's gonna play out.
yeah.
Really don't know what we're talking about yet. Exactly. And to make a decision, we're gonna need to know exactly what we're making a decision on.
We don't need to leave him hanging, or he might not go through with it at all. But I just don't feel like if it's lucrative enough for him to invest in it, why does he need our help?
I don't know if Sean explained to him that. That tangible personal property, how that works, because if that was the number he was worried about, I don't think he'd be too worried about it. He was seeing this number.
Right,
But he will see that number if everything remained as it was.
And they've already pulled a bunch of that's stuff like your desk and your computers and your fork trucks and that's all the stuff that can be pulled off the property.
Mhm.
They've probably already gotten most of that off.
So when they assess, it'll go down to what we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody knows where it even sits right now or
It is.
where it's gonna go exactly.
A problem between him and the property appraiser. But she assesses.
Question, do we know the time span that was spent before someone really opened up the business to employ someone?
no, he doesn't even know what he's gonna do with it yet.
He's not gonna do anything with it, but clear it off and wait on the right developer to come.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do anything yet.
Mm.
I don't. If we spend this, and then someone might come in and they're ready to really hire someone, then we may not have the money to incentivize them. Just my thought.
So what I'm hearing is leave it as is. If somebody comes in, we can look at it then.
But we gotta,
At a later
we have
date.
to answer him.
We do.
And I would say deny his request.
So we're not willing to work on the
And
property taxes.
Right.
And these aren't gonna be his tangible personal property taxes.
By the way, John, did you check, he made the accusation that we had the highest taxes that he'd ever had percentage wise. Did you check that out?
I don't believe that. I think he was confused by the tangible personal property.
Yeah, that's the number I kept hearing was the 400 something thousand being the highest he'd ever seen and such as that, but it's not property. You're right, it's not real property
He's not buying the tangible personal property. He's buying the real property.
or whatever. Tangible property he does buy, he's gonna sell it off for pennies on the dollar to get rid of it, according to what I heard anyway. When he's saying $500,000 worth of stuff's now worth 10,000 or something, that's what he can get for it, scrap value or whatever.
I make a motion, we deny his request.
Councilmember Grimes,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. And I will say furthermore, if I may, on this subject, if somebody comes in here like Ms. Hampton said, and wants to talk about getting jobs going, opening something up, getting jobs going, we can discuss that with them at that time.
we can always discuss it
We
with
can always,
anybody. but-
sure we can, absolutely. So,
But for this request, no.
right. Agenda item 6G, council to discuss when to resume late fees and council to take any action deemed necessary. This is on, utility bills.
So after Helene, the council said to suspend late fees and we haven't started them back up yet. So we just wanted some guidance on when we should start applying late fees again.
You started in October.
Yes.
We didn't give an end date to that.
How long has it been?
The next bill
3
will
months.
go out next
No,
week, so
When did we do it?
maybe October first would be the first bills that we outlet since October.
That's 4 months.
Yeah.
Say
Let's give them
maybe,
2 more.
maybe 2 more months.
Let's give them 2 more. 6 months.
Okay. So that one ended on what date? November, December, February, March. With the April bill, it would start back to late fees.
Mhm.
The April,
April.
need that in the form of a motion and a vote. Anyone care to make a motion?
A motion that we end it.
No.
April 1st.
Have a second?
Wait a
Councilmember Grimes,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yeah,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6H. Final reading, ordinance number 1047. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida relating to the rezoning of 10 or more contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application Z 24-04 by the city council, amending the official zoning atlas of the city of Perry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from residential, conventional, single family 1 or RSF 1 to residential, conventional, single family 2 or RSF 2 of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing our ordinances in conflict, and providing for an effective date. This is the livestock at the high school, correct?
Get all that situated.
Okay,
motion to approve.
Councilmember Grimes,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
yes. Agenda item 6I. Council to finalize appropriation request list and council to take any action deemed necessary.
Fire station, NRB have been to. Like the,
Dixie, wasn't it?
We went to Live Oak and Dixie County,
Let's see.
Mhm.
and I've been to a couple others myself, Wakulla, Tallahassee. I think I'm going to Lake City next week.
all the ones that we got approved through appropriations had all their plans and everything on the front end.
Mhm.
So what we're thinking about doing is asking for about 300 grand to do the planning and design of the firehouse,
Like the
fire
blueprint.
station this time.
Mhm.
Let's not ask for $3.5 million, whatever it's gonna be. That's for a small chunk of it, let them know what we're trying to work towards, get all that complete, find the land, we'll get the land purchased. And then it'll be a better request the next cycle.
I don't wanna get too fast with this and, you know, we won't have our ducks in a row when we go and
Yeah,
actually ask for it, not just put a building together and not be what.
you want to plan.
is.
Mhm. I agree.
And I mean, we don't have like a week or two to get all this done and you won't ever get the plans and all done in that time.
No,
So
no.
I agree with John about the planning and construction or, blueprints and all for it, so.
Yeah. John, do we own any land that would be appropriate for this? Not right offhand.
Not, that would be great for it.
Okay.
We identified a few spots. We're gonna talk to the landowners. I think Bill's got one in mind too. Two in mind. We got one or two in mind.
But now this is what we're gonna give to the, yeah. Okay.
We're gonna ask for 300 grand as an appropriation.
Uh-huh.
The two
That's
garbage
good.
trucks, that one's pretty straightforward. Just asking for the price of the two garbage trucks. The lobbyist suggested for Duval, Willow, and Bishop, don't ask it as an appropriations. Go back to DOT and the MSCOP program. And the legislators are kind of over that as well.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's gonna talk to them, make sure they draw the line right a little hard.
Gotcha.
So we're probably not gonna put those three as an appropriation, but we will, he is fighting for those for us.
Okay.
So we are gonna ask for Goodman's lift station, that's part of that. This is like 1.2 million, but it's part of that big $94 million 20-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll help get that off the list. We are gonna ask for water and gas, automatic meters. Most of them, because it doesn't fit any other grant.
Where we at with the lift station for Warner
That is
and Thomas Downs?
that's a RIF grant,
Okay,
it's a separate grant, but we did
Separate.
get approved.
okay.
Could you explain again about, you said you're taking Goodman lift off?
No.
Oh,
Taking the 3 streets, repaving off.
And go through the
to
DOT.
focus on the lift station?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're doing all these except the 3 streets.
I think that would be nice.
And the depot, I'm waiting on, kind of like with the fire station, I'm waiting on some engineering for the design and construction estimates. McDonald's supposed to be working on that, and I told him it's a tight time frame. I need to get back pretty quick.
Cause I've got a lot of phone calls about that depot. They don't want it to go, and I totally agree.
I don't want
It's
to.
history,
I
yes.
want to pay for that. What budget?
I know.
It's a pretty good list for our first year.
It is.
And you may have already said this, is that based on also what he was saying about not asking for too much? Is that why you want to take the streets out?
That's one of the reasons.
Plus you said the funding might be available elsewhere. Yeah.
It's definitely available through the MSCOP program. It's
Yeah.
just a large project. You
Right.
Get through there.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, because, you know, often you all do so much and people don't know what you're doing. Because you don't have to like put a press release out, but you know, things that people do recognize, even though they may not understand how water works and different things, when their streets being paved. And, you know, legislators are also wanting to get recognized for different things. I'm sure the lobbyists will help direct us, but I know sometimes just putting in like, if there's one street that won't cost as much, but just like something that the legislature will want to get out of helping us. And we all know, and they know, that all this has also been made worse by the hurricane. But I know the closing of the factory, the mill, and things that, you know, took away jobs outside of the workers who will be benefiting from the ease, which is also very, very important, is on that list. Is there anything that can give the legislator like an easy win to get it like, you know, like it's a kissing the baby moment? I mean, all of that could, but I was just wondering, Cause it's not as tangible as seeing the road, you know, the road being changed and stuff like that. It's just a question.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I know they have a pretty high priority on infrastructure. A lot of this stuff like the station are infrastructure projects that they want to improve.
It has brought it in focus.
And the street repaving, they did just approve Park Street through Ennis Scott. These were the three they didn't approve. We think get them back on the list and talking with Corey and Jason, making sure these get on there.
Yeah,
I was talking to Kenneth W. today, made me mad. Said they got approved for $8 million in repaving. And I only asked for about 800,000. Well, less actually,
Who got approved for 8 million?
the county.
Oh, they,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, well,
Got a lot more
they've been
roads,
getting it
Steve.
for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
He does. You have to look it up. I don't even know what it means. It's called LAP certification, LAP. And it helps them get a lot more DOT grants than we can get.
All right, is everybody good with that list?
We got Thursday, the legislative day.
legislative thing.
Yeah, delegation is Thursday at 4:30.
Day after tomorrow.
You still want to talk? You still want to talk?
I
Yeah.
don't know what you're saying.
Planning on it, yeah. There,
He's working you up some talking
is
points.
everybody else gonna be there? Those that can,
You said 4:30?
4:30 on Thursday. The council, commission room.
Yeah.
So are these,
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
okay.
Jason and Corey are interested in? Not these specifically, but like
They
their
know,
own little.
4:30.
Yeah.
Political leading,
Yeah, but-
okay.
they already know about all.
Old post office.
They already know about these, okay.
Mark Anderson's building you up some talking points. Make sure we hit the keywords.
'Cause we
He's
have
gonna
the
be
most
there.
sympathy right now,
Okay, good.
and everybody's gonna be asking for a lot of money, so we get to as much as we can.
And on the Florida channel, I was watching the other day that I already had this discussion in here, I do believe. Collier County were having their legislative days. And they were saying how a lot of the federal money that was there before is not any longer, just gonna be a leaner year. Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, he pulled that.
Yeah.
Infrastructure and everything.
A lot of stuff got frozen today, I believe,
It did.
today.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to a consulting firm I've been using today about the grants we got before, and she said until I think it was February the 25th, I think is what she said. Don't quote me on the date, but that, if sometime in February, until then, we won't be able to do anything with our money. Everything's been froze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
CBG was on there also.
Was it?
Mhm.
Wow. Apparently it was a pretty wide cast net
It was.
Yeah.
and it got frozen.
It was.
Infrastructure bill as well.
Mhm. They'll start
Anyway.
releasing it again, but it's just frozen for right now until they can weed out some of the waste.
It will come back. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. Exactly. But they also, I think some of the DIL money or whatever is not gonna be there anymore.
The what?
ARPA money, bill money, there's some programs that aren't gonna be available anymore. Or anyway, y'all can look it up.
Mhm.
All right, any more discussion on this? Now we'll go with agenda item 6J. Probably approval of the minutes for December 16th, 2024 special session and January 14th, 2025 regular session.
There is one item, agenda 9, that I would like to speak to. And actually, I was trying to email. Would you email me the those minutes? Yes. After the vote, that's what it changed. The language. The. 9 with the city attorney report. On the December meeting.
Which meeting?
December, I'm sorry, I thought.
I'm just trying to figure out which, because we got two sets of minutes.
I didn't like the minutes was last week, but they were not good. But they are important. No, we can't.
The first one is the December 16th, I mean, for the special session, and then the,
Okay.
January 14th.
No, it's the second one.
Okay. What I missed.
So he's asking, I think, for review of those. The second one, there's two on here, so. So it's not on the special meeting, it's for the second one.
Okay.
He was asking for the December meeting.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm confused.
I'm sorry, were you just asking if there's anything regarding the minutes?
Yeah, we're just asking for an approval of the approval of the minutes for the December 16th, 2024 special session and January 14th, 2025 regular session.
Okay, I'm referring to the January 14th regular session, agenda 9, and agenda item 9, so the attorney report. This portion that city manager or the city council members individually outside of the public meeting to discuss city business. However, in the prior, I was taking issue that, because I don't want it to be misstated, is, the city manager cannot act as a liaison for the council members by sharing their thoughts or information with the rest of the council. So it's not that, so what I'm trying to figure out how to change it or just send you this, what I read. But, you said Attorney Demps also stated what a city manager or non-elected officials cannot do is to act as a third-party liaison to talk to individual members to share information to come up with a pre-total of everybody's support outside of meeting building. And I said, cannot talk to individual members, cannot talk to individual members, everything else fine, by sharing the thoughts and or information with the rest of the council. So in other words, it sounds like almost the same. He could be making a decision based on like agenda. The agenda and putting stuff on agenda is his delegate, is one of the things he's delegated to do. When he's talking to say, Mr. Kettering, Councilman Kettering, for whatever reason, and he gets whatever he wants in that, say, changing, I don't know, changing the time for the meeting. He's not supposed to say, well, you know what, if it's never been discussed, especially, well, I talked to Benita, and she said that she liked, I'm sorry to call you by your first name.
You fine, baby.
Miss-
Fine.
Councilman Woodball, and she said she'll do it. Like, he cannot
He can't be
basically
the
be the
tone.
voice.
Yeah, yeah.
If Councilmember Woodball can't talk to Councilmember or Mayor Kettering without it being in a public meeting, he can't all of a sudden be the liaison of Councilmember Woodball to inform Mayor Kettering, and then a decision is made.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not that he can't talk to them,
Mhm.
or, because every time you talk to anybody, you're gonna get some type of information.
Right.
But he cannot, or he's not supposed to, and there are exceptions, because you can have a subcommittee to negotiate contracts. He can't become Woodfox liaison to be
Mhm.
informing him of something that should have been in a meeting. So
Right.
that's why I thought maybe sending. So if, my suggestion is cannot. Okay, is to act as a third-party liaison to talk to individual members to share the thoughts and information with the rest of the council, of the member.
So I just need to add the thoughts between share and information, is that correct?
Well, maybe okay, to share the thoughts, right. To share the information from an individual.
Okay, so
Is basically you can't, that person cannot share the information to the other city council members.
Okay.
If he's talking to the council
Now
members. I may make it clearer.
Okay.
that's right. I mean,
Make
it's,
sure I get the edit correct.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah, it's
trying to
pretty-
get
it's-
easier to change it. So third party liaison,
between individual members.
can I do is to act as a third party liaison between individual members. Okay,
Basically, you just can't act as a go-between is all it boils down to. I mean, that's all you're saying.
communicating to you all what other members say.
Yeah, I'm just
but
putting
you're reading the information anyway.
I mean, I know I'm putting it in plain language, but that's what it is.
But-
Yeah,
If
But I just want to say that it was not an idea about just sharing any information. It was about sharing what
Between
another
council
individual.
members.
Right. outside of
Okay,
us.
so can I read off what the edit will be?
If they agree or approve, it,
And
yes.
so that they hear how I would change it?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it, yeah.
Make a vote on that?
After all that, I think we need to, yeah.
Yeah, before we vote on it.
Okay, y'all help me on this, cause
You're gonna do fine.
okay, so starting at the top of that sentence, it'll say, Attorney Dents also stated that what a city manager or non-elected official cannot do is act as a third-party liaison between individual members to share information to come up with a free total of everybody's support outside of a public meeting. Is that correct? Is that how you're?
Sounds correct to me.
Yeah, I think that's simple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Motion to amend.
All we needed was the cannot.
Okay. Between,
Is that amend and approve or just amend?
Well,
So we have to do both. Have a second on the, we have a second on the amended.
Yeah, we have to vote on
We have a second on the amendment.
it.
Roll call, please, ma'am.
Councilmember Brown?
yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. And we still gotta approve the minutes.
No, they'll come back.
Sir?
They'll come back as
She
amended.
got to rewrite it.
Okay, we got two different sets here. Just wanted to wait and do them.
Oh, you talking about
Doing them all at
December?
once.
Yeah, we got the December minutes too.
Motion.
Second.
December, they're correct as is, right? Y'all are approving them as they are, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
yes.
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. City manager.
The other day you asked me if I polled the council. I thought you asked me as if I had worked with the council on it all, or if I was confused with the way you asked me. I had worked with the council, but I did not poll each person. So I answered yes. I thought you were asking if I acted on my own with what I did. I answered yes when you asked me if I polled them. I did not poll the council, but I did work with the council.
On what?
This was a couple weeks ago about the lobbyists, I believe.
The lobbyist,
I
okay.
think, I think the word was tally. I think you asked me to tally
Yeah.
the council.
Yeah, and when I thought you asked me if I would, if I did that on my own, I didn't. I had worked with a couple.
Let's don't change that.
Yeah. Y'all remember when we did that work on Cherry Street?
Mhm.
We re,
Wow.
we re-cambered it. Was that last week or week before? Last week. And it seems that the repairs were made holding up pretty good.
Is that an icicle hanging down?
Oh,
Oh,
No,
Mm.
icicle or something.
Never know what you'll see down there.
Exactly.
Is that the sewer? Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not even.
But looks pretty good. I don't know how bad all the.
Here you go.
All right, we agree.
Looks pretty good for a sewer line, yeah.
Had a contractor do the work.
Okay.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, got anything else? Ms. Demps?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the first time I've called your name.
Oh, no problem. Well, been a good flow and quick meeting. I just wanted, I'm glad sort of that came up. Like first.
Time's up.
Okay, next time. But please do not be afraid to come to the meeting with the legislators because I know, again, you always have to ask yourself if you're talking outside of the public meetings. Like, make sure I keep my conversations specific to whatever you're there for, that, but that's hard to do when you already agreed to the appropriations. So I just want, because I do think that, and I did say last time that I'll start like doing like tidbits on different parts of the law, just responses, that way we can, sort of I'll start being more, careful in thinking about what they may need to think of at this moment. So that was a good, I'm glad I got to do the stupid example, because just saying polling, tallying, whatever, words have consequences. And so I would just encourage everyone to come, and the appropriations you already agreed to, you're not making any business decisions, which is what Sunshine Law is avoiding, so you can talk about the appropriations that you all already agreed to. So I just wanted to note that, because I know often out of abundance of caution, you may prefer to not say anything other than hello and yes, this is what we need to the third parties, the legislative people there, as well as the lobbyists. But please come. So that's my Sunshine Law review.
All right,
But I have more.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a question.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to rewrite the Boys and Girls Club.
I was gonna talk about that, but I was like, okay.
I was gonna bring it up.
Okay.
Okay, I'll wait and let you do it. Go ahead. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, and in light of what I just shared, I'm going back through the last 3 meetings, because it just seemed like increasingly I heard words like we're doing something illegal or violation. And to also make, not just sparring over righteousness or something, but to make sure our records are clear. There were a couple of things that I want to suggest, but I have the contract, the most recent contract with Boys and Girls Club, that has no condition or no language about capital improvements. That was gone in 2017, was that the last one? But the prior agreement from the 1990s actually had language in there that didn't say the city holds money, but at least talked about the city paying for capital improvements. But there was not like a quid pro quo. But I do believe, based on other things that I've observed since I've been here, there seemed to be an active replay when the Boys and Girls Club came up, how they cannot buy things. And so even in their rental price, that may be a little bit higher than market value or not, is also in contemplation. There may be requests regarding capital improvement. I also interviewed Ms. Ketchering, and I'm trying to get more clarity through our prior city attorney, Ray Curtis, and I've not been able to get on his calendar, but I should be by the next meeting time. And just to see what was contemplated at the time, because there was a clear change, right? But I do believe when I first started, because our chief of police, was doing a great job, or when I say first started coming to meetings before I was a part of it. And then I was on the board with Boys and Girls Club. I know things have been said, not like, hold this money for us, but we're paying this because we can't buy something. So that's the context I've heard things. And last week's meeting that I understood, outside of us trying to clear up where the bid came from, was that that the executive director knows that, like, whatever is requested, it can be denied, just like any other renter of any other property. But there has seemingly been sort of an unspoken expectation that because of all the rent, that there is something that's covered. And so I just wanted to find out, not only because no longer that's in the contract, the law provides, he's looking at his like, beep, beep. The law provides that there is exceptions regarding the actions that could sound like leasehold, capital improvements and things based on rent for certain organizations that rent from the government. And one big one is things that is considered for public good, charities, but still, because it's a nonprofit renting from a government. So the tax implications And I don't know GAAP principles, but the tax implications are different, which is why I imagine that things can be done.
Mhm.
But whatever it is, because, you are the council, we can renegotiate anything. There's nothing, we owe them nothing. I don't care if they've given $1 million. They were renting,
Mhm.
and there's no obligation either in writing, that makes that the case. Although there's nothing, at least for my preliminary research, without conferring with Mr. Curtis to see if that's why the agreements changed between the 90s and 2017. But according to what I've seen, that a nonprofit or something that the council believes is of good public use, there can be, it may not be labeled like a hold my money, but an expectation like a landlord tenant that you can have certain things covered over what is covered over what, like any other landlord tenant situation. The landlord tenant situation, like if something happens, you're gonna fix our paint, you're gonna do this.
Mhm.
And based on the negotiation, it can also include things that with a non-commercial nonprofit would be like capital improvements. Maybe that's the wrong word to use. The expectation is that so much can be given. But I would, so to answer the original question, yes, I've been looking at both the contract and we can always renegotiate, but there's nothing both by contract or from what I understand, the executive director, Emily Kettering, I'm sorry, I'm so tired, my words are coming slow. Emily Kettering said is that there's no expectation from the Boys and Girls Club that when they ask something, you get it. Because you're holding on to our money to do it. And so, and yes, renegotiating would be probably good, particularly to make that clear. It may need to be added to say this does not, if that's sort of like a concern or need to be clear that that's not the expectation or that that's not the intentions, since there seems to be confusion. But the idea of renegotiating needs to happen regardless.
It does.
Because apparently sort of like some of the policies you all were working on when I first came on was a lot of old policies that no longer, it really depended on the historical nature of the people sitting there, like, oh yeah, we haven't done that in 10 years. But yet in practicality it's happening. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think over whatever. So I do look forward to both changing, if you all want, it's still your decision, changing the contract and renegotiating. And secondly, that if there is some implication that capital improvements is something you all still want to have like, or to make that also materialize, then, we need to do that in writing. But if you're fine with the way it is, with the expectation that there's no holdover, I think it's good practically to know what they're giving. That there's no practical holdover, then, you can keep things as is. But, so. And I know I was telling you, I was sending you a memo about that, late yesterday. But I just didn't get around to it. I had 2 client emergencies today. I did say I want to start doing the sunshine law stuff, and legal. And there was one thing I didn't expect to discuss it. I just wanted to throw it out so that next meeting we can discuss it. Is if there, what I was looking at, basically some of the things, even just the idea of how things run, that I think one way we can improve our communications and intentions is possibly adopt a more casual, but maybe adopt some type of rule of order when it comes to our process. I wouldn't say it had to be Rogers rules, and you don't have to choose it. Right now, the charter says just, you work basically decently in an order with no particular procedure. But even the idea of like, if you have an objection and we do pretty good, but there's sometimes I'm like, I wonder if we went by something more like Robert Rules of Order on an agenda item, you let the person present, then you have an open discussion, and then you call for a vote. So we don't have calls for votes, and another council member has a question, and it just seems like too much difficulty, but I just, and I love creative laissez-faire, but when it shows that it may not be helping as much to not have it, then everyone feels hurt. I know I've been here when somebody closed for a vote and Councilmember Hampton's voice being softer. She had a question, and I just saw the frustration because no one can hear you. It's already done. And so I think that will help with communications a little bit better. So I'm putting that out there, but I'll have a more formal presentation next time. So those are the three things on top. I wanted to talk about the Boys and Girls Club and to address some of the questions that have come up in the last 3 meetings. They sort of left it out there, even was placed in the newspaper, which is everyone's right. Because at the end of the day, this is America, you have a First Amendment right. But if it leaves a question of law out there, I think I'm doing the injustice to not at least try to address it. Not necessarily try to get into it, like in a way, and I apologize if anything I said is personal, and I'm really trying to work outside of my person, because that's not the job of an attorney. But when I have things, and I did address some things, because also I'm a public servant. So when people say something that that touches on that, I'm gonna cover myself, like, you know, this, yeah, I have to. Because if you say, for instance, and you know, there's no animosity in this, but you know, someone needs to go back to law school, that is not only against, I think, ethics, but it's against the term of my contract. That I actually included because I don't work here full time, my business is literally impacted when there's a question that's made public. And then also, I just think it's not a good time to start disparaging your leaders, even your mayor, when you're asking the state of Florida to deposit so much money. Because today, talking about Google, you Google my name, I can't afford to have an accusation that I overlook fraud. Not even the personal gaps, but when the state legislature, see why I was gonna like just wait and talk later? The state legislators are looking at what's written in the paper about us.
Yeah.
So both, it's been like a good push to like, well, let me do my diligence and try to make order out of things that could hurt us in the future. And I love Perry, I know y'all love Perry, and we want them to be like, we're excited. That's a great place to put businesses, to raise children, but I'm not gonna give $300,000 to a council that looks like their attorney is incompetent. They don't know how to talk to each other. Their people don't respect them at the podium. I mean, we worry about cleaning up Butler Parkway. We need to worry about, and I think the lobby's gonna really help form us in that, our PR is what sells. I mean, we can have, just like it was to me shown in the last election, and I'm really saying this to try not to make a point as much as to have us really think about it. You heard one group of people like, oh, the economy is the best economy you ever heard. And then you had other people like, excuse me, my eggs are expensive. I don't think jobs are, but you notice what the stats say. When we want people to say in the legislature, we talk to these great lobbyists, there are people for them, blah, blah, blah. It's just a great little town, great heart. And they Google and they see and hear only bad things, which is not true. You guys have done a wonderful job. It's not true. But I say all that to say, the more I can help with communications and also hear what you're saying and take it, that it's not just a personal point, like whatever it is, I need to do work to try to make it clearer or address it. Then I want to do that because I want to help alleviate anything that could look like we're incompetent, when it often is just a lack of information ahead of time, misunderstandings, you know, trying to interpret passion from personal attacks. So those three things I'll discuss further in our next meeting, which is why I was like, oh, I don't have anything. Because I knew whatever I was going to share wasn't going to be a quick share, and it's not even going to be a long share, but I just didn't want to at this time get into something that way spur. So I'm not trying to close any discussion, but maybe I should just be asked to be placed on the agenda for next week. Outside of just attorney's report.
Okay, thank you. Carly?
I've been working on the capital outlay policy and I'll bring that back when I feel like I have it written how I want it. And I think we're kind of taking a look at the purchasing manual while we're at it. So we can bring it all back at one time because purchasing manual hasn't been updated since 97. I believe. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's really old.
Hmm.
And I also got an update from our new financial system today that they are expecting to push us back again. They're, at this point, they're thinking March. It's no fault of our own. We're ready to go and they're ready. And I'm so ready to go. I'm over it, but they're not budging.
Gotcha.
That's all.
Thank you. Jamie?
Hey,
Darby?
nothing really. wrong.
Danielle? Andrew? John? Okay, city council. Example, please.
I have one thing. Banners,
I am working on it right now, actually.
is it for downtown?
Yes, ma'am.
and 19?
Well, I've asked our FEMA consultant, because Penny was working for Highway 19 and then also for downtown. And I'm not sure if our money covers both, so I have a question in with our FEMA consultant, so let me know, does the money cover both? I know it covers downtown.
So we have to ask FEMA, put banners?
We don't have to, but I was just asking them to know if we have to pull it out of our bank account or if it's gonna be reimbursed.
So we're looking at maybe, probably not even 7,000.
It's more than that.
Well, I mean, for
Our
the ones,
quote,
the ones downtown are more
the
expensive,
one,
but
I
I
have a
love
quote for
them.
downtown and Highway 19, I think it's like 72 banners and it's $27,000.
70, what?
$27,000,
Last
I
time
think.
I counted was 36, 18, 27.
That's what the quote was. I don't know. I haven't gone and counted. I just was working off the quote that
It was
Penny had started.
36.
You know how, do you know how many banners?
Are you talking about just 19 or
Yes,
both? She's talking about.
I'm talking about both,
Downtown.
Highway 19 and downtown.
okay.
They're looped in together on the quote.
The ones downtown are more expensive,
Oh,
and I love them. I hope you're not gonna change. Are you planning on changing? What are you gonna do, John?
But yeah, we're trying to get some ideas.
yeah, we're
Okay.
trying to do some mock-ups with the company.
Could you let council know before?
Well, that doesn't include new brackets and everything, does it? Just the banners themselves. But all those brackets are busted.
I think he was waiting on.
We need to hear about downtown area and the gateway into there. Do we need a motion on that, or you got it?
Okay,
That's all.
Ms. Landry?
I'm still seeing a lot of street name signs that are cattywampus or missing or whatever. How are we coming on that?
As we can, we're working on them. I mean, it's, you know, we have garbage, trash and all the street cleanup that we're having to do also, but they are doing them. But we straightened up a majority of them in Helene come, so now it's
Right.
start over.
They worked some of that, that's all.
Yeah,
We don't necessarily need new ones, they just need.
no, we have the new ones. We still have new ones that have to be put up. That was from Idaho. It's just gonna take a lot of time.
Like everything else. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, everything.
Ms. Bonita?
I just wait for Hope to come back.
Okay. Mr. Bill?
Is there anything you would like to actually
Okay.
look into?
Basically, the contract itself, and we need quote on how much is being paid, where the money is going, and what's to be done.
So the money thing definitely will be based on.
I know what
Right.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yes, okay.
yeah.
I thought she gave us that last time.
I think
She
John.
gave
wants
it,
to
but
change.
she said
We
she
had a
didn't have the
$6,000 quote, and then we had $8,500 quote.
Yeah,
So we were never, and then we had no signatures.
Dollars per month. They had recently, last year, updated it up to 8,500. There's no written contract.
See, that's what I'm saying.
8,500.
We need all of it.
From what I understand, it was a verbal thing between Penny and they decided to up it for whatever reason, they bumped it back down to, like, when I took over, it's $6,000
Gotcha.
now.
Gotcha.
Some of it, I'm just trying to clean up.
I know, baby, you are. And that's something that it shouldn't have never happened.
I know.
That's why I was asking like what you, I
Yeah,
wanna make sure
and-
whatever your
Yeah.
concerns are.
I kind of realized that that was one of the questions after the meeting, and I didn't realize in the meeting that that's what you all were.
Yes,
mentioning.
yes.
I think John wanted to make changes to the agreement as well.
I don't have agreement at all, but if we're gonna have one, I
We
want to be
don't want
right.
to have money.
Yeah, I agree, John. Yes. That's too many years of lost money that we don't even know where it went. What was done with it? No one can go back on paperwork and say, this what it was done, what was done with it, this and the third. Oh, we know. I know.
Then you also want, as much as possible, a total sum of what they've spent in rent.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, again. I just want to make sure that what your concerns were, because it was really confusing.
Yes,
We
very.
talk about a bid and then it's like, all the things and I'm like, let me know specifically what you're wanting to also hear so we can.
Yeah, I'm loving the road that you're going down and then go back to the Roberts rules. I don't think this council would do good with Roberts rules.
That's why I started saying like, can we get
Yes.
casual?
Yeah, look, we,
But no,
yeah.
I mean, it'll be awesome.
It definitely helped keep things in order though.
It
keep-
would,
and
it
keep-
would.
and people trying to keep the minutes, it would.
The super one, you know how you play Monopoly, but not really by the rules. so
Gotcha.
House rules, so it may just be very simple, not like you have to say. Point of order.
Point of order.
I redeem my time, no, we're not Congress, but, and they struggle with it,
Yes.
but I'll keep
Yes.
that in mind, you're like, yep, that formality won't work here. Maybe. You know, the Perry Council rules of orders.
I just really.
No word, thank you.
I just do this.
Ms. Hampton,
Thank you.
okay. Mr. Bruns, do you have anything? The only thing I've got, I wanted to announce is, former city attorney Izzy Ramos passed away
Yeah.
a few days ago. Izzy Ramos. He was our attorney, a city attorney here
Many years.
for a long time, and if you remember, his wife just passed away just a few weeks ago, Linda did, and just, yeah. So anyway,
Do you know,
ma'am,
when did he serve? Like.
the 80s, 90s.
Richard was on the council.
He was here a good long time though, a city attorney.
He was also a veteran.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, he was retired as a
They're gonna have.
colonel, lieutenant colonel. Okay,
They're gonna have a military service sometime in February.
okay. But anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know that, and
Thank you for mentioning.
anyway, if nothing else, well, sure.
I think she did have something that she was trying to continue with, and she raised her finger. Only seeing,
Okay.
the only reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen her expression
That face.
change. Make sure that we caught that.
We were on Boys and Girls Club. On the budget, doesn't it give us a line item of how much they pay in each month?
So,
No,
um,
it's there.
so the way
There's
that
a color
Penny,
for
Give her a
it.
chance.
the way that Penny explained it to me was that she said to put a revenue line of what they pay in and an expense line of what they pay out in that fiscal year. So that was where.
Revenues on rent.
What the revenues, of basically what their rent is what the expense line is. It wasn't
Thank you, ma'am.
necessarily like they
Yes,
came
ma'am.
to us and said, we wanna do this, this and this, and that's where I got that number from.
Mhm.
Just what their rent is and what their expenses was. We can change that next year if y'all wish. That was just how it had been, I guess.
So Penny just put what she wanna put.
All right. Anyone else have anything? All right. Thank you.
Is that it? Is that it?